Hi everyone, I'm Mary, and today we look at Overly Sarcastic Productions, Miscellaneous Myths. This is going to be Pyle the Prince of David. This is Welsh. I don't speak Welsh. I know what I said is wrong. How wrong? I'm assuming, honestly, to an offensive level that if I was actually aware of it in advance, I would have probably punched myself out of good measure and not regretted it, minus the bruising. But I could just say I ran into a door. More importantly, we're just going to jump in and ignore all the probably horrible things I said by accident when trying to speak Welsh. Or not. Well, maybe it wasn't offensive for once. That would be a nice change of pace. More importantly, there's a link below to the original video. Hit it up and let's get started before I say anything else I would regret or have held against me in clips later on. Yeah.
Welsh mythology is a comparative unknown when compared to bigger names in Celtic mythology, to the point where I kind of forgot to mention it in my earlier videos on the subject. Sorry, Wales baby, it won't happen.
Take me back, babe. Mabinogion? Oh, I've heard about that through FGO because not Herda did that. The art style is the same. I can't remember who her actual name was. Madam something.
And again, when Celtic mythology is on the table, Scotland and Ireland are generally thought to be the big contributors, with Breton and Cornish mythology providing...
Wait, Breton is where? Wait, Truro? Cornwall? See, I'm only used to the Truro in Massachusetts. I didn't realize there wasn't one in England. Although, considering everything and... yeah.
Celtic mythology is on the table, Scotland...
oh, there's an island there. I didn't actually know that.
...and Ireland are generally thought to be the big contributors, with Breton and...
huh. So Brittany's in France? Wait, there's a Jersey? That's where Jersey is? Sorry, I did not know that, and I'm just thinking, so there's a Jersey. Is it the New Jersey of England and or France? Jersey. Wait, they got a Jersey Shore. Oh god, there's a French Jersey Shore. I'm sorry, I never realized there's an entire line of jokes I can make about this, and I feel like I've been missing this opportunity for years, and it's just kind of hitting home now that I could have made stupid jokes like this. And now I miss that chance.
And Cornish mythology providing some of the wackier mythical creatures like the Anku and Corrigan, as well as the fairy tale classics like giants and mermaids. Welsh mythology didn't have as much overlap with the other Celtic contributors, but it did have a mythology of its own, much of it being famously codified in the 4-part Mabinogi. So today we're going to be talking about the first part of the Mabinogi, specifically the exploits of Pwyll, Prince of Dyfed. And before you ask...
that's Push, but I got the name right, Dyfed. Yeah, Welsh, man. I'm not even going to try it. The fact that I got this even slightly close is more surprising than anything.
No, I can't pronounce these names any better than I can pronounce Irish names.
I think she could probably do better at Irish names, and honestly, I can't do that either. So I'm assuming it's also wrong then, and maybe it's right. I don't know.
Sorry. So Pwyll is out hunting one day when he winds up getting...
that's how it's spelled. I'm sorry. Yes, really. I guess he's a real pushover. I'm sure no one's ever said that one before.
He's separated from his hunting party and finds himself lost. Not one to stop the party just because he's lost and alone on the...
I mean, oddly enough, I do absolutely love this music. I want to say that because when used in a really good setting, just that slow roll, I'm assuming that's a bagpipe, is really great to set a tone because it's loud, it's clear, it's a sharp tone that can sound incredibly mournful. It just kind of works for a small growing up section, which is what I'm assuming this is because kid.
Misty Moorland, Pwyll instead focuses on some strange dogs he notices harrying a deer, and sends his own dogs to drive them away so he can catch it instead. But as it turns out, these dogs belong...
Aran, king of the... oh, wow, I'm not going to say any of these names right.
...to Arawn, king of Anwin, the Welsh mythological otherworld, which as it turns out is where they are right now. Don't ask how Pwyll managed...
I knew I should have taken that left turn at... Aberystwyth? Oh, I'm just... you know, if she just dropped in something completely bullshit here, I would have to believe her because I cannot tell.
Get so lost that he ended up in fairyland, I'm sure he couldn't tell you. So Arawn is mildly pissed about the dog thing, but says Pwyll can make it up to him if...
okay, not cool, but I've got bigger things to worry about. So you're going to help me. Still, so far, one of the nicer ways to put it in, but...
if he helps him out with a little problem he adds. See, Arawn is technically only king of half of Anwin. The other half belongs...
oh my god, they're putting in the freaking elevator music. Here's the backstory. And that's what it looks like? Huh. And it belongs to Hagvan? Havgan? Havgan. Probably completely wrong.
belongs to this dude Havgan, and they don't really get along.
Right.
The last time they fought, Arawn took down Havgan, but Havgan tricked him into whacking him a second time, which let Havgan magically heal all his injuries.
What?
They're scheduled to fight in 1 year's time.
There's a joke in there about the double tap not working, but feel it's way too before his time. So yeah, I'd like you to beat him. Okay, just make sure to only hit him once or 3 times. 3rd time's the charm.
So Aran wants Push to take his place in the battle and defeat Havgan in a single strike. Push is totally cool with this, as he apparently is with most things, so Aran disguises them as each other and sends Push off to rule his kingdom for a year. Push heads to the court, acclimates...
Awesome wife? Aran's awesome life? Awesome food? I see where this is going there.
Quickly, and has the time of his life partying it up and ruling the kingdom. The food is great, the environment is fun, and best of all, Aran's wife is a beautiful and interesting lady who's loads of fun to talk to.
See, I'm just used to Red talking about all of the Greek myths, where the Pandora video specifically, having an interesting woman who's smart and interesting to talk to, being interesting, is like horrible. Why would you want this? And she was admittedly, and rightly so, pissed at that. Frankly, the misinterpretation with the box seemed to have improved that myth to be a little less annoying. Because honestly, they described an amazing woman who's like, wow, this is kind of cool. I mean, this small evil bit, frankly, you sound like assholes anyways. You deserve it. But here it's like, wow, she's interesting, cool, and it looks like she's getting into a drinking contest. I'm liking this already. Also,
Red's art is awesome. Best of all, Aran's wife is a beautiful and interesting lady who's loads of fun to talk to. Long story short, Push has a blast spending his year ruling the kingdom until fight time rolls around.
He was allowed to take over for a year. Welsh myths are weird. Kid, you've pissed me off. Beat King of the other world, not God, that are slightly gods, but might be more fairy than anything, for a year, and then kill someone in one hit. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense saying it out loud. I kind of love it, though. Are Welsh myths kind of like the African myths, where they're just really awesome and no one talks about them nearly as much as they should? Yeah, probably, actually, yeah.
Around when he heads off to the battlefield to do Havgan one-on-one. They have a pretty nifty duel, and Push gets in a solid hit, at which point Havgan goes all, oh, I am slain, won't you finish me off? And Push is like, nah, and heads off to conquer the other half of Anwin. Then Push meets back up with...
I take it that one well. Yep, you are now the proud owner of 2 halves of Anwin.
Aran, who strips the illusions off and sends him back.
Very well, I'm very grateful. Yeah, unglamored. How nobody noticed that? I'm assuming magic.
Home. Push is stoked to find that his king...
Guys, you won't believe the year I had. My lord, we just saw you like 10 minutes ago. A year and 10 minutes. It's like the reverse. I actually forgot the name of the folklore in American mythology for Appalachia, where the guy, I keep wanting to say Rip Van Winkle, but nope, wait, that is it. I was thinking Rumpelstiltskin, I went Rip Van Winkle. There we go. I remember Appalachian mythology because I literally lived there my entire life, minus the year I was in California. Yeah.
Kingdom has flourished in his absence under Aran's rule, and he explains to his court what exactly happened and what he's really been up to for the past year. Aran, meanwhile, returns home, relaxes, then goes to bed with his wife, who's surprised at him and explains her confusion by telling him that he hasn't even looked at her in bed for a year. Aran is...
Oh my god. I'm sorry, let's surprise. How?
Who's surprised at him and explains her confusion by telling him that he hasn't even looked at her.
I mean, it's been a while, you know. Oh my god, he actually didn't abuse the trust? Also, he literally never thought of that. I just like the single thought process here where that one neuron that wasn't firing suddenly fires. It's like, oh, I have found a flaw in my plan.
In bed for a year. Aran is stunned by Push.
Paragon of self-control, I would die for you. Hey, are you doing this or what? She just asked it. It's like the reverse Lancelot. No, sorry, Galahad with the Green Knight. Also, actually, reverse Lancelot sounds like something I should probably censor if it ever came up on screen. Also accurate now I think about it. It's both accurate and something you should probably never bring up in polite company. I'm definitely bringing it up in polite company because I am in no way, shape, or form polite. And if my company's polite, 1, I have no idea who they are. 2, I'm an asshole. I would probably do it anyways.
Push's total bro move of not sleeping with his wife when he had the chance, and it's a happy ending for everybody.
Ah! Some fun facts about what just happened. Push earns the title Chief of Anwin for his work uniting the 2 halves of the kingdom, which just seems like a nice token gesture at first. But basically, he just earned the status of an underworld god? Okay, so the other world was actually the equivalent of the underworld, not a spirit, or I guess the spirit world would be the underworld. Okay. The implication is that after he dies, Push will step into steps into the role as a god of Anwen. It also makes sense that this wouldn't be explicitly stated. Welsh mythology and literature has a strong tendency to characterize Celtic deities as mortal heroes, the hero of the third and fourth branches, the Mabinogi, and the mortal and wow, that is a name. Manddwyn Fablir? I know I probably just said something offensive trying to say Welsh words. I'm assuming it's just going to be bad in general. Everyone's probably expecting it at this point. Is equivalent to the deity Manwyn MacLir, the Irish Manannán MacLir, the Irish god of the ocean and guardian of the underworld. It goes a long way towards explaining why this title is such a big deal. Push, I still can't get that name down, is mentioned in the 10th century Welsh poem. Oh, that is a word. Tredu Anwish, which documents King Arthur's raid on the underworld. Really? He was in an Arthur poem. Or, I guess, document. Huh. Crossover.
So that's how Push made friends with the king of the Otherworld. His next major achievement is getting married. You'd think this wouldn't be nearly as complex or
No, I'm going to disagree with Red on this one. No, getting married sounds very complex. I'm going to stay with that one. Yeah. Maybe it's just my experience, but yeah. Now I might be projecting a bit, but that seems a bit kind of difficult. I'll take that projection and just be okay with it.
Time-consuming, but you'd be wrong. See, Push hears about this hill where if you sit on it, you either get grievously injured or you see a miracle. Push ain't afraid of no grievous bodily harm, so he...
You know, I was going to say there's like some kind of joke in the back. Who is dumb enough to do that? Then I realized, yeah, no, that sounds perfectly normal. In fact, I think most people here will be like, ooh, horrible bodily injury, or cool shit that I'm not sure about. Yeah, I'd probably go for the cool shit as well. I mean, also then grievous bodily injury, but yeah, it makes sense. There's probably a line for people, and then a line out to the hospital right next to it, because it makes a perfect sense.
He plops his butt down on the hill and immediately sees a beautiful woman riding a white horse. Push is enterprising.
The irony being, not only does this count as a miraculous sight, but grievous injury because chasing after a woman on a horse. I'm sure there's ways to get hurt this way.
But apparently her horse works by horror movie logic, because even though she's just at a casual trot, none of Push's men can catch up with her. Push saddles up to chase her down himself, but finds himself in the same boat as his subjects, and runs his horse to exhaustion before he thinks to ask the lady if she'd maybe mind slowing down a little.
Excuse me, would you mind slowing down? For your horse's sake, maybe lead with that next time. Yeah. Also, well done in the Welsh to actually ask about talking to someone first. Yeah, I mean, if you ignore the running horses into the ground and not actually doing it first, but let's ignore that because it's closer than everything else so far. Minus the African myths, which were pretty damn awesome.
So the lady in question introduces herself.
I am glad I found you. I was actually hoping we could get married. Not even going to try and say Rhiannon. Didn't see that coming? Yeah.
Herself is Rhiannon, and she says she's come.
Oh shit, I actually got it right.
To find Puig because she'd like to marry him. See, she's been betrothed to this guy she's not a big fan of, but.
Yeah, there's this guy, Gwal, son of Claude, and if I don't marry you, I have to marry him. Interested? Not the worst reason I've heard.
She'd much rather marry Puig, who, apparently dazzled by Rhiannon's nice dress and incredible horse riding skills, decides he wants to marry her too. Well, that was easy. Well,
I'm sorry, I just love that yes face. That's so Red does good heart.
Well, not quite. Rhiannon and Puig arrange to be married a year later, but when the day arrives, their fancy party is crashed by a stranger who introduces himself as a petitioner and asks Puig.
Hello, sir. I am but a humble petitioner here to ask a boon. Ahem, can we talk? I'm assuming that's probable. I probably have the name wrong, I know at this point, but I'm just going to run with it.
A boon. Puig says sure, anything. And as Rhiannon facepalms in the background, the stranger demands that Puig give him Rhiannon as well.
See, you just think they're not actually married yet, so he can't have his wife.
As well as the party fixing.
Also, I just love the face of fucking A. I think so far, these are some of the best faces Red has drawn. And I'm here for this.
And the feast. So yeah, turns out the
I can't believe you take advantage of my generous and trusting nature. Excuse us a minute. To be fair, she also took advantage of your generous and trusting nature, but you get a wife out of it, so it's not as bad. Also, why doesn't she want to marry this guy?
Petitioner is Gwawl, son of Cleed, aka Rhiannon's former fiance.
Cleed?
Unfortunately,
Really?
Push is honor-bound to honor his request.
He's a jerk, yep, and I am an idiot. Maybe just a little. Luckily, I'm not, so here's the plan. Marry someone else first. Get divorced. He gets the wrong woman. Better yet, find someone who really likes him, then get divorced. He gets the wrong woman, but they're okay with it.
Request and give her up, but Rhiannon's prepared for this occasion and surreptitiously gives Push a plan to let him fix this mess. So,
am I the only one who thinks that this is more her story and he just happens to be there? Because it seems like she's the one with all the agency here. Nice.
1 year later, Rhiannon and Gwawl are all set to be married when Push appears in disguise as a humble peasant with nothing but an empty bag and a request. Gwawl, learning from history, says sure,
Okay, one, the Nutcracker music in the background, just the sheer absolute ridiculous nature of it, and her just going do, nothing to see here. Again, she has the best facial expressions.
Within reason, and Push simply requests that he
I like to fill up the sucker up. Well, that sounds reasonable. Is it big enough for a person?
Be allowed to fill his sack with food. This suspiciously reasonable request is honored, and Push begins dumping food into the bag. But something's funny about this bag. No matter how much food he dumps into it, it doesn't.
I'm sorry, the smug. Just look at the smug. Oh, wow. This is literally a masterclass in red drawing smug characters. Rhiannon is probably one of my favorite drawn ones already, just for that alone.
Doesn't get any fuller. In desperation to save his party.
Okay, dude. What's the big deal with the bag? Oh my god, it's a bag of holding. It's bigger on the inside. Look at that face, man. Nothing to see here. I'm here for the faces. Like, I like the lore. But frankly, Red's just smug-ass faces are probably the best thing ever.
Gwawl asks what it would take to fill the bag, and Push innocently replies that he's sorry he forgot to mention it earlier, but the bag will only be full if a nobleman steps into it and tells it to knock it off. So as Rhiannon stifles a giggle in the background, Gwawl steps into the bag, and Push immediately shoves him into it, takes over the party, and
Oh, honestly, I thought she would jump in and he'd just get away with it. Just turn it around, fair play and all that. Who's getting properly married? Woo! Also, you literally just threw all the food in there, so you don't actually have a party anymore, but whatever.
Claims his fiancé. Push makes Gwawl promise to leave.
So you're gonna leave us alone now, right? Yes. Yay! What is it with everyone taking a year to carry out their plans? It's only been twice so far, but it's kind of weird that happened twice.
Him and Rhiannon alone, and the happy couple are properly married.
Wait, they didn't actually kill him? Huh. I guess I'm just used to more violent Greek and Norse myths where everything just kind of goes for murder. Granted, the murder ones aren't all of the time, but usually the ones Loki's involved in as a joke. Yeah.
Without incident. No, the next incident comes a few years later, when after having gone childish for long...
Is she pregnant yet? No. How about... No. Nope. No. Nope. Now? Now? Nah. Nope. Does... Yeah, didn't I grant... Garatri? There's a joke in there somewhere, and it's probably that I have no idea what that says, and it's actually bugging me.
Enough that people are starting to talk, Rhiannon gets pregnant and has a son. This is great news, but that night, the maids guarding the baby fall asleep, and when they wake up, the baby's gone. Panicked at the thought of having to admit that they...
Oh no. She's gonna kill us. I've got an idea. Run.
Lost the royal baby, the maids conclude that the only sane solution is to frame Rhiannon for infanticide and claim she ate the...
She ate the baby. That's actually how it went. Okay, wow, we're at levels of what the fuck I was not expecting.
Baby. Rhiannon is rightly livid.
Oh my god. The regret to inform you, you ate the baby. It was horrible, traumatizing. This is seriously what you're going with? Uh-huh. Is it Push that just had the baby and they just missed it?
The accusation, but unfortunately the baby is gone, which is a pretty bad sign for her I didn't eat the damn baby claim. There's an uproar and...
I mean, lack of blood? That's usually good one. I mean, it's a myth. I realize that kind of thing's not going to be there, but you know, usually there's a few things you can't digest, like bones, screaming baby, blood everywhere. It would be kind of noticeable. Did none of you look for clues? How about you ate him? Shut it. You can't seriously want to keep her. Yeah.
Push is once again urged to divorce her and marry a less controversial queen, to which Push responds with, "The only reason you a-holes could give for me to divorce my wife was that she hadn't had a kid. She's had a kid, so she's still my wife." And that's the end of that. But despite—
Damn! You know, usually whenever it comes to these situations, in most of the myths so far, especially the Greek ones, but some of the other ones as well, it's, okay, here's something stupid. Now I have to get rid of you for some stupid reason, and it's all going to be suffering. We brought it ourselves, but we had to do it. And here it's like, fuck all y'all. And I kind of like it. These are some of the best characters I've met so far, because he might not be the smartest or the brightest, but he did his thing, and he's cool. And she's got so much agency, and she's intelligent. Also, I love how Red's drawing her. 7 years penance for eating the baby, minus any bodies or them being dead, but we're going to ignore that.
Despite still being the queen and all, Rhiannon is ordered to do 7 years of penance for eating the baby, which entails her sitting by the city gates and telling anyone new in town the story of how she totally ate her baby.
Hi, welcome to Vade. Want to hear about the time I ate an entire baby in my sleep without any blood? Huh. On the one hand, that is kind of hilarious as a punishment. On the other hand, if they want to keep people from bothering them, this is a great way. Hi, welcome to the town of we eat babies in our sleep. Do you want to stay tonight? Oh, God.
Baby, and then she also has to offer to carry them wherever they're going. But if you were wondering where the baby actually went, we cut to a convenient childless couple. There are so many in stories like these.
I mean, there's a lot of convenient childless kids or parents in general, so that's probably the most believable, especially because infant mortality was kind of huge. Yeah. Go back to the shadow. His what?
Due to a series of complicated shenanigans involving a horse-killing monster, wind up with a mysterious baby on their doorstep.
Damn.
The couple in question is composed of the horse lord Tiernan and his wife, and they react to the mysterious doorstep baby the same way all fictional childless couples do, and immediately take him in and raise him as their own. The child grows supernaturally fast and also gets along really well with their horses, but one day Tiernan hears about Rhiannon.
You're that missing prince?
And her penance for apparently eating her baby. Then he takes a good hard look at his kid, notes
I'm sorry, it's literally just they took the face of one, the hair of the other, and it's kind of obvious, yeah.
Certain family resemblance and bundles him off to the castle to introduce him to his real parents. So, having solved the mystery—
Oh, the prince has been found! Yay! Thank you. I'm getting such an apology. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Also, yeah, more than an apology, she's going to make a lot of people suffer because she's now the queen, and actually she was the queen already. On the other hand, their legal system actually applied to the queen. Huh. That's actually a point in favor of the Welsh having a more fair system.
History of the missing baby. After an indeterminate number of years, the kid finally gets a name, so I can stop calling him the kid all the time. Rhiannon names him Pryderi, which means worry or concern, or maybe I'm
about to find out. I'll give you a 10-second head start. That is longer than they deserve.
going to strangle those handmaidens for telling everyone I ate you. It's a language of many beautiful complexities.
Admittedly, I'm surprised they were allowed to survive long enough to make that accusation in public. There's a lot of places where saying the queen did that would lead to you being in a similar situation yourself, but not by the queen, but by maybe some dogs who just happened to find your remains on the floor and before you were dead. Yeah. The fact that the queen could actually be punalized. Wow, I can't even speak today. Either that or I'm really craving a pun. I haven't made one in a while. You know, actually, no, that would make sense. I probably do some craving puns. Still impressive. That actually would apply. Usually it'd be like, okay, the queen said something horrible. 5 seconds later, I regret what I have said. I recant it on the pain of I have already been unalived. Blech. Looking a lot of Greek for that one.
And those are the life and times of the unpronounceable Push, Prince of Dyved, because eventually he dies in part one of the Mabinogi and wraps up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go ice my jaw because I'm pretty sure I sprained something trying to get all those names right, which I didn't.
Normally, this is where I would say I really hope that there's more Welsh myths that Red did, but honestly, with how much he said about spraining her jaw and not being able to pronounce names, I fully expect this might be the only one she did. If I'm wrong, let me know, because this was really cool. I like these bits of mythology that I've never experienced before. I know I say that in every video she does, but that's because in every video she does, I really like the stuff I haven't seen before. It's awesome. and also just the different take on mythology in general, how this is a much more fair system in their myths. So there's still injustice, but they applied what they believed was just at the time based on multiple eyewitnesses to a queen without going to the immediate, you must be killed. But also using public shame, which is probably why she got away with it, because queen, but that they actually had a punishment for someone in a position of power is really telling about a society in general. Now, if that applied to reality, I don't know. But even a mythology involving that is fascinating. And I would just love, and I've been told this in the detailed diatribes, to get more information about how the mythology was shaped by the society it was in, because that's just freaking cool, man. I know, I need to get to the detailed diatribes they do. I have no idea why I haven't yet, mostly because I'm on a playlist right now. There's so many cool shit. This is the problem with this channel. They have decade of really cool shit with really good stories and art that's really good. And Blue has so much freaking information I'm just going gaga over and just... You have no idea how hard it is not to just take a day and live stream myself reacting to everything. Partially because I don't have enough caffeine to keep me awake and I have a short attention span, so I would be very distracted by Shiny. On the other hand, it sounds so cool. What's even harder is not doing it on my off time and forgetting that I'm recording it and like, oh, fuck, I can't do that one now. Because I want to. It gets recommended to me all the time. And I'm just like, no, I can't click on it. I know it'll be awesome, but I can't click on it yet. It's a problem. I haven't given in yet. But there's been a few times where I almost did, and I almost didn't regret it, and it would have been so freaking good. Yeah. Otherwise, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. It was awesome. Do that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.